sure as you heard by now, the new Civil War trailer hit, and I swear to God, I've watched it at least 6 or 7 times in a row. It's amazing. It reached my expectations. And I'm gonna talk about it in this video, and I'm also gonna talk about the first one because I was gonna make a video about it, but it never happened. So let's go. The Civil War trailer hit the other day. Just like everyone else, I was refreshing all my social media waiting for it to drop. The Russo brothers, the directors of one of my most favorite and easily one of the best movies of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Winter Soldier, are setting up a great tone for this movie, just like they did with The Winter Soldier. The trailer starts out with General Ross explaining the damages and casualties the Avengers have caused while they fund both Avengers movies and the events of Winter Soldier, showing scenes from New York, Washington, D.C., and most recently Sokovia from Age of Ultron. He continues to explain how people are afraid of their actions, and Tony agrees. And then we get our look at this movie's version of Prison 42. In the Civil War comic, Tony and Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four made a prison in another dimension called the Negative Zone to hold heroes that were against the Registration Act. But since Marvel Studios does not own the film rights to Fantastic Four, that means we won't begin the Negative Zone. Fast forward a little bit, and we see what looks like might be this movie's version of the Stanford incident with this explosion at the UN. In the Civil War comic, the Stanford incident was caused by a villain named Nitro, who caused an explosion that killed over 600 people, the majority of them being children. And in this incident, it was basically the Kickstarter for the whole Civil War comic arc. And then we also get a look at Chadwick Boseman out of his Black Panther suit. There's also a shot of the Winter Soldier attempting to assassinate Tony, which he avoided with an Iron Man gun he designed to come out of his watch. I believe this will make Tony trust Cap way less since Bucky is his friend, also feeding into the overall story since Cap is also trying to find Bucky. And now Cap is on the run with the least conspicuous disguise ever. I mean, come on, there's no way they'll be able to find him. This disguise is way too perfect. I mean, come on, what's wrong with it, honestly? Now let's talk about the Black Panther suit. It looks so sleek and amazing. As you can tell with the bullets bouncing off of it, it's made from vibranium, the same element that Cap's shield is made out of. What's more interesting is he is able to outrun Cap, and he also has some kind of vendetta against the Winter Soldier, as he is seen chasing and attacking him in all his shots in the trailers. The speculation going around right now is maybe the Winter Soldier assassinated the King of Wakanda, which is also Panther's father, T'Chaka, and maybe in that explosion that we see in the trailer. Either way, I'm really excited to see Black Panther make his MCU debut since I don't know much about the character at all, so I'm interested. One complaint I keep seeing online is people are mad that there are barely any characters in the movie, like the comic which stretched all across the Marvel Universe. But in my opinion, this will work to an effect because it will be on a more personal scale. You can focus on the overall fact of the Sokovia Accords, this movie's version of the Registration Act. The fact that friends are fighting each other over what they believe is right, and the stakes are going to be high and they will be brutal. One rumor going around is someone will die in this movie, and in my opinion, to show the stakes, someone kind of has to. The MCU has had plenty of fake outs over the years, well, except for one. But the Russos and other cast said this movie would be a tearjerker and to show that someone has to die. I don't think Rhodey will die, only because they keep showing it in the trailer, so I think that'll just end up being a misdirect. Other great and interesting moments shown in the recent trailer are like Scarlet Witch overpowering the Vision in this room, and one thing fans were dying to see was Ant-Man riding on top of one of Hawkeye's arrows, very reminiscent of the comics. Now we get to talk about my most favorite part of all this. We see a web wrap around Cap's shield, his hand covered in webs, and then we get our first official look at the Spider-Man of the MCU. The suit looks straight out of the comics, looking like a Jack Kirby or Steve Ditko design. As much as the other suit looked amazing and have a place in my heart, this is the most comic accurate suit we have gotten outside the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. Curious what role Spidey will play in the MCU and also in this movie. Sad we most likely won't see the famous unmasking scene like we've seen in the comics. In the words of Billy Mays, there's more we haven't seen yet, like Giant Man, who has been popping up in merchandise leaks, and we've barely seen Crossbones, and we still haven't seen anything from Daniel Bruhl's take as Baron Zemo, the film's actual protagonist. Also, with General Ross returning, could we possibly see the Red Hulk? Anthony Mackie recently said in an interview, and took it back shortly after, that Mark Ruffalo is in Civil War, so could we possibly see a Hulk versus Hulk fight? This is a possible spoiler alert. It's just a little theory I came up with, so it's just all speculation for right now. There is spoilers though for The Winter Soldier if you haven't seen that movie yet, so you've been warned. So in the post-credit scene of The Winter Soldier, we see Bucky trying to piece together his past. So I'm thinking Baron Zemo either kidnaps or tricks Bucky and uses one of those brainwashing machines like Alexander Pierce used in The Winter Soldier and re-brainwashes Bucky. That would possibly explain this look we see on Bucky's face where he almost kills Tony and will probably further divide Steve and Tony later on in the movie. So all in all, Civil War is going to be an amazing movie. I cannot wait for May 6th. Are you Team Cap or are you Team Iron Man? Personally, I'm Team Cap all the way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Time for a shameless plug-in. I finally remembered to put the links to all the social media associated with this channel. The Facebook and Instagram links are in the description below, and I'm also considering streaming on Twitch as well, so the links are down there too. Might do Twitter for it, not too sure yet. But anyways, thanks for watching, and like I said, I'll see y'all when I see y'all.